All right, boys, there's no time to explain. I'm gonna need everyone who watches this video to like, comment, and subscribe, or I'm gonna come kick your grandma in the ovaries. All right, let's do this. Bye. All right, today we got a special video here. We got an ENDYMION video here by Why Games Workshop Panics as Warhammer 40K fans walk away. And let me tell you, please walk away and do not buy any of this female custodian crap, because it's just absolutely spitting in the face of all the people who actually read and care for the lore. But we're gonna get into the video after, because ENDYMION is definitely gonna talk about it. So if you like Warhammer like I do, if this is driving you insane that they're just blatantly pooping in your face about the lore and just telling you the lore has always been this way, and then now they're just going with it, acting like your fan base doesn't matter, well then make sure to give a like, comment on the video, let me know your opinion. I'm a little upset about this. I'm being a little schizo about it right now. My thoughts are over the place. Given your grandma's ovaries, if I put that in the intro on the line, your grandma's ovaries gonna be on the line. Make sure to comment and like the video. Let's get it started.
Warhammer 40,000, the grim dark universe where there is only war, apparently. It's also apparently a setting built on tradition, decades of lore, and a very hardcore fan base. But recently something happened that exploded the community into bits, and well, it's pretty deserved. You see, Games Workshop officially revealed that female Adeptus Custodian miniatures and lore was finally coming, and that the reaction to this has been dramatic to say the least. I'm actually underplaying it. It's not going well is what's actually happening. So Games Workshop is officially confirmed,
I'm so happy it's not going.
Like I said, that the new Custodes range for the Porous Heresy, obviously, now includes female Adeptus Custodian miniatures 100% now. For those unaware of why this is so annoying, it's because the Adeptus Custodes were meant to be the Emperor of Mankind's elite guards. They're like the superhumans of superhumans, okay? They're like walking units that can crush practically anything with sheer might alone due to just how powerful they are.
And if I remember the quote, isn't it the emperor, the original quote is the sons and nephews of the royal families of the Imperium, if I remember correctly, like, so, or the noble family. So it's just like, where do you get daughters and nieces from sons and nephews? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
They've also always been confirmed to be male in canon lore, as they're literally said to be the sons of Terra and, you know, not daughters.
Brotherhood. Why would it be called a brotherhood if there are women in there? Then obviously it can't be a brotherhood because it's not all dudes.
And it's been this way for decades, but obviously when everything decided it had to be inclusive now, even Games Workshop then started to be, well, moronic about things, putting it lightly. And then the community found out in real time that this wasn't really just a retcon, it was Games Workshop opening themselves up to a very stupid and honestly very vocal part of their fan base that want to basically ruin the established lore of Warhammer to, I guess, own the chuds or something. Games Workshop already knew that the reveal of these female Custodian miniatures would piss off everybody, so they decided to get an article ready to answer anything. And this article is titled, New Custodes, Your Question.
Little quick tangent. I want a sorority sister in Dark Tide. I think that would be such a good add-on and addition for it. That's a little side tangent, but continue back to the video.
Answered. Oh boy, here we go. Right after that, Games Workshop then said this. Let's address the Telemon in the room, shall we? Yes, some of those awesome new Custodian miniatures are female. With a picture, as you can see, showing off these Custodes. Yeah, this is going about as well as you would expect, by the way. They then say this. Is this a new thing? Well, yes and no. Up until this point, those few Legio and Adeptus Custodian miniatures we've seen without helmets have been obviously male, and the rest have been so armored that it's hard to tell. The new range has a mix of both male and female Custodes. Oh, is that what it is? So suddenly, just out of nowhere, an entire elite guard of the most badass male warriors of all time actually had women all along, coincidentally, around the exact same time that every company suddenly decided to push for more female representation. And we're just supposed to accept that and go, well, sure, why not? I mean, yeah, maybe.
And that's the thing, like, we don't have to accept it. I'm not going to accept it. I don't care what anyone says. Female custodians don't exist in the lore for me. They're all dudes. I don't know what, it doesn't make sense. Like, for example, right? Let me just break it down. The process for turning a kid, a boy into a space marine, it's, first of all, the training is brutal. not only, but the organ transplant, they're not genetically compatible. So with the brutal training and the organ transplantation, it makes it hard for women to succeed in those things. Hell, even most Space Marines die during the training of their neophyte, to become from a neophyte to a Space Marine, right? And so when you take that and you say, okay, custodians have even harder regimens of training. Now, they might not have the same organ implantation because it's a way different process and they haven't really explained it. But it's still, you take that concept, it's like, well, if the custodians have harder training and women already have a low chance of surviving the training of a Space Marine, so it's just like, what are the chances of them surviving custodians training is like 0 then. If it's like 5% for a Space Marine, then it's 0 for a custodian. So it just doesn't make sense. I've just felt like you're ignoring the Sisters of Silence, you're ignoring the Sororita Sisters, you're just the lore just doesn't make sense. There's so much wrong with it. I hate it. It drives me insane. Sorry, I'm going schizo right now.
Some of them were female, even though the lore in the old books said the custodians were men only. Of course, there would now be women. That's not how lore works. Here's the thing, right? Yes, I know that none of this is real. Yes, we're all gonna die one day, but the point is that when it comes to making your franchise something that people want to invest in,
he's right. None of this is real. We're all gonna die one day, but until I die, I give a fuck about this. It matters to me. Fuck you if that's not your opinion. It's my opinion. If you don't care about my opinion, fine. I don't care about yours. Now we're even.
Two, you kind of have to keep what I can only call the fundamental pillars intact, and these pillars are what obviously holds up your franchise. There needs to be rules, okay? For example, let's say if magic in your world costs, I don't know, your soul power or something to use, right? I'm just making up something. Then that would be a pillar for your franchise. Or if you have a race in like your fantasy setting, right? Where it's like this race lives twice as long as everyone else or whatever. That would be another pillar. But if you suddenly go, actually, there's this other race that never lived longer but now suddenly does, that would be stupid. It would be like suddenly in Lord of the Rings or something, they retconned it and say, oh, Gandalf is no longer basically a magical angel taking the form of a wholesome old man. But in fact, he was always just a regular human man the entire time. Like, no, that ruins it. Also doesn't make any sense.
I need to also go do my research and learn the history and lore of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I think it's right, Tolkien? Yeah, Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, because I watched it when I was a little kid. I haven't watched it. I need to go back and watch all of it. I was young back then. I didn't pay attention to it, but now as a grown adult, I've been watching little lore videos, learning little things about it. Super interested. I gotta learn my lore about it.
How did he come back as Gandalf the White then? Like, you get what I mean, right? But what GW is doing here is they are fully aware that their answer is complete and total BS. And yet, despite this, bullshit. They're having to defend their choices that they know are stupid because some board members were adamant in putting a chick in it and, you know, making it lame again, pretty much. But
put a chick in it and make it gay. That's exactly what they did. Let's put a chick in it and make it gay. The women need to stay out of guy places. You know what? Well, us men need to go and get into female spaces. I think all men need to go around, doll ourselves up, get in the makeup industry, buy all the makeup. You know what? Let's go buy all the pads too and just start using them. Why? I don't know. Just to show what it's like when they come in our spaces and take our shit and ruin it. I hate it.
Hilariously, though, the actual all-female faction, the Sisters of Silence, have apparently been quietly removed from Games Workshop's website in terms of merchandise to buy.
Wait,
and
really?
I just gotta say, I find that goofy. So you're telling me, okay, you have this entire faction of actual female warriors, which is true representation, by the way, because they existed for years before all of this pandering or whatever, but then you deleted their merchandise from your online store to then give some representation to women now in an all-male faction instead that you know will not go over well at all for you at all, given the fact that
So they're quite literally forcing people to buy the female custodians. So they got rid of the Sisters of Silence. So it's like, okay, you want a female army, you're either gonna have to buy the Sororita Sisters or the Custodians. Give us money, bro. If anyone who gives GW money to have any of these, you're a cocksucker. You can build 1,000 bridges, but this will be the one cock you suck that will make you a cocksucker for the rest of your life. Oh my God.
You had to make a whole dumb article to defend your very dumb actions as well. Like, why is Games Workshop doing this? You just proved that you don't care about women at all then. You just deleted the merchandise for the sisters. Like, how can you be this tone deaf? Look how far they go, though. Let me read you the next one. Look at this dude. Have you changed the lore? I thought all Space Marines and Custodes were male. Space Marines? Yes. Lore-wise, Space Marines are made from human males. Willing aspirants or unwilling conscripts on the cusp of adolescence. They are subjected to a series of horrific trials, and the strongest emerge as remorseless killers, their humanity stripped away as they can serve as living weapons in the Empire.
But is that right there, bro? Horrific trials. Custodians have to go through even more horrific trials than what Space Marines go through. So you're telling me that it does, so at that point, you might as well just have female Space Marines. You might as well. If they can survive a custodian training, then the Space Marine training is nothing. It's nothing. They might as well you might as well bring them in. And you know what? The Sisters of Silence, it was told that they were all female. You might as well make some male Sisters of Silence. And you know, sorority sisters, let's make some sororitas choir boys or something like that. Man, it's so stupid.
Armies. There are no female Adeptus Astartes. Yeah, I don't believe you guys, because you said the same thing about Custodes until you, well, wrote this whole article to explain why suddenly, actually, there are female Custodes. So yeah, why would I really?
We're finna have them watch.
Either, right? Let's be real. It's only
and watch. We're gonna have female orcs soon. Watch. Well, Gazgul Thraka he's finna meet a female orc. And she's gonna rock his world, bro. Just watch. Or better yet, they're gonna make, next time he dies and resurrects, they're gonna make him he's gonna resurrect the transgendered orc. So stupid.
Matter of time before a Space Marine rips their helmet off, and it's the most butch woman to ever exist in existence, with a jaw strong enough to crush a diamond, probably. Like, we know,
she's gonna have the Giga Chad jaw. She's gonna have the nigga chin jaw. Or I said the nigga chin, my bad, the nega chin. Sorry, I've been listening to that meme a little too much. The nega chin jaw, bro.
Something like that is probably in the cards. It is. They'll probably go,
say Crimson Chin,
look
but I like the nega
one
chin.
Of the Space Marines from the genes got weird and turned into a woman somehow. Isn't that amazing? Well, bro, it is.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna say the gene seed was corrupted, and during the implantation of this little boy, it sex changed him to a girl. So he still became a Space Marine. But therefore, he's the first ever Space Marine that's transgendered from male to female. Bro, just watch. That's gonna happen. That's gonna fucking happen. Watch. I'd put money on it. I'm broke, but I put money
ignoring
on
the Sisters of Silence too, you dummies. But like, look, okay, they cope even further. Let's keep reading, as they say here. Custodes are not Space Marines. Other than the obvious point that they are both towering gene-enhanced warriors, the similarities pretty much stop there. Custodes are taken as infants and recrafted by ancient science. The process is arcane and bespoke to each individual. The Emperor himself retained oversight of the process, at least until that whole Horus Heresy thing went down. Really, the similarities end there, dude. Is that why in your codexes from back in the day?
Bro, isn't there a chapter where like Malkador said the Emperor should have made some of the Primarchs like female? And didn't the Emperor laugh in Malkador's face and was like, "Are you serious?" like no, bro. So why would he have his royal guard? Why would he have beings that he valued more than the Primarchs themselves, his own sons? He valued Custodians way more than the Primarchs. And you're telling me that he made them female when he obviously was just like, I wouldn't dare. Like, bro, come on, bro. This is the Emperor of Mankind we're talking about, bro. That man is not, he is not inclusive like that. And if he is inclusive, it's not in a good way.
As seen here, highlighted there in like the yellowish green, that it very clearly states in the Adeptus Custodians.
Oh my God. I didn't know about this. The Adeptus Custodians and Emperors in the Guard, the members of which privilege being permitted to serve by the Emperors, attending to his needs, receiving and recording his direction. These men never leave Earth. I don't think I've read this. Oh my God, this quote right here is crazy. They are literally men. They are literally just denying legit lore and telling us, sorry, that's not the case. Oh my God.
Custodians are men who never left Earth in order to defend their god emperor? I don't know, Games Workshop. That sounds like to me you're trying to swindle your fans or something. Play
They're
a little
trying to
trick
hold
on
their
them, because that doesn't sound like these dudes are women to me. It actually sounds like you got some activists in your ranks who spend way too much time on Reddit and probably got brainwashed, if you ask me.
Way
But my
too
god,
much.
dude, just keeps going. Here Games Workshop then says, but aren't the Custodes made from the sons of Terran noble houses? Some of them are, yes. The emperor is all about symbolism and authority. So those pre-unification patriarchal houses that passed their kingdoms down to firstborn sons had those sons taken and remade as guardians of the emperor. That is still true, but that was not the only source of recruitment. Other methods might have been equally overt, others far more secretive. Noble daughters could also have been taken, and at some point you run out of noble houses. Even after you've conquered all of Terra,
But what sense does that make? Okay, so let's break that down, right? You take the noble daughters and the noble sons, right? For these noble houses, who's going to continue to procreate? Because if you have a son and daughter, right? The chances of both of them becoming a custodian and damn near impossible. Hell, the chances of even one of those kids becoming a custodian is damn near impossible. That's how rigorous and low the process of survival is. And so you take that concept and now you take both of those kids and you take one kid and it's like, okay, we send both kids there and they die. Now we have no other one to continue our lineage because we gave you all of our kids that will continue our legacy. And what if the wife dies during birth? What if she gets sick? How becomes infertile? There are so many things that it makes it like, okay, now you're ending this noble family's bloodline. And it's like, the higher chances that you might as well do is keep the girl there. That way she can continue living and procreating and bringing children into the world, while the men can just be, well, again, used as expendable shields as we are, just thrown to the meat grinder at that point. I mean, it's just statistically, it just doesn't make sense. It's just so, I hate it.
The inexorable war machine.
I'm going insane. I'm losing my mind.
Imperium still requires a constant churn of recruits. My tongue's all twisted, but my god, it's still stupid, right? They're just pulling this out of their asses, aren't they? You can't even deny it. Like, oh, actually, some of those noble houses now gave daughters. Oh, really? Well, that's convenient to push your little new dumb agenda. There isn't it, Games Workshop. Like, look at this female versus male custodian comparison. Like, that female custodian, come on, guys. That looks like Gorlock the Destroyer with a long ponytail. It's ridiculous. Even the women custodians, they look like men. It's so stupid.
It doesn't make
sense.
sense.
Point? Even Archcast pointed out, as seen here on Twitter, that the female custodians' weapons also lack triggers. Incredible. It's like amazing. They're sending in these Gorlock-looking women into the bouts of battle with weapons that lack basic functions. It's almost as if like they're sending them out to die on purpose. But like, here's the thing, all right? And you can call me whatever you want. But women, in my opinion, should not be on the front lines of warfare anywhere in anything.
Thank you. Hey, someone got to say it, right? Bro, women shouldn't be on front lines. I'm not saying they shouldn't serve in the military. Hey, you want to serve in the armies, go right ahead. But front lines is a whole nother story, right? I have seen those videos. I have friends. I've had stories. My parents served in the army. I have friends who are in the army right now, friends who are retired, grandparents who have done it. Hey, I have people who have told me plenty of times what their experiences, especially just being on the internet itself. I mean, have you been on Twitter? You can see some terrible shit on there. So it's like no one wants to be on the front line. So you definitely don't want to put women up there.
The average man, despite what your teachers in school might say, can easily overpower like every woman possible, pretty much. The difference in strength,
bro. Facts, bro. When I was growing up in school, there was like maybe 2 random girls that were stronger than damn near every guy there. But other than that, even still then, they weren't stronger than every guy at the school. They were just strong. They were a girl that were just stronger than the average chick, where guys were like, damn, she's strong. But still, if they really wanted to, probably could lay their asses out, bro. It's like,
is staggering between men and women. It is what it is, okay? That's what biology is. Now, when you take the genders and turn them basically into super Hulks, it gets even funnier. Like, why would the Emperor of Mankind, a dude who is constantly at war with the forces of chaos, put his life in the hands of what would be technically objectively lesser powerful versions of the same royal guard?
He's absolutely right. A female custodian would be weaker than a male custodian. So why even have a female custodian? I would just have all male. I'm choosing the weaker warrior. I would choose the weaker female over the male. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. And some might argue, well, they're genetically reconstructed to be the perfect image of then why do they still have female form? Why does it matter that they're still female? They shouldn't have any gender at that point if they've been reconstructed. Maybe she was reconstructed to a male. See, it doesn't make sense. It's
where
so
he has
hard.
on a physical level. Like, it makes no sense for this to exist at all from like a tactical perspective. It's just performative nonsense. The only way I can legitimately canonize this idea of female Custodes is that there's like an activist in the Emperor's chamber somewhere, like in the lore. And since the Emperor is basically a skeleton right now being fed psychic energy, he's not, you know, exactly available for consulting at the moment. So somebody on the team went ahead rubbing their hands and was like, now's my time to make my lesser powerful versions of the royal guard that already exists to promote gender equality, I guess. In reality, if Warhammer actually existed, these Custodes would be crushed immediately by their male counterparts, because it's technically heresy.
Bro, well, it's not even just that. No, because don't they have to fight and during trials? So it was like, so these female custodians probably, if you want to like be like lore accurate or even just physiologically accurate, they'd probably be killed by their male counterparts before they completed their training. So it's just like, they even if you did have them exist, they'd never be fully fledged custodians because they'd be killed before they even had a chance during training. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. This is funny though.
The whole point of their faction is that they are the strongest physically out of any other human faction that exists. So by definition, then, the female Custode, via their genes and biology, would be lesser equipped by the laws of nature to protect the Emperor over their male counterparts. So the whole thing doesn't make any sense at all, really, how you justify it. It just comes off as, well, stupid, and honestly kind of funny too. Because looking at these female Custodes, I just laugh, man. These are just men with long hair. Like, what are we doing?
Bro,
don't worry, guys, because gender...
They're just like, they're biker dykes. That's all I mean, that's what I view them as. I view them like they're biker dykes. There's big, swole, buff biker dykes that are just been added. It's
apparently meaningless when it comes to the grim, dark future of biology, as Games Workshop says here. How different are the male and female Custodes? All Custodes, male or female, embody the pinnacle of the genetic and cellular engineering the Emperor employed when creating his armies. They are flawless creations, push beyond the limits of human potential. There's no difference in combat efficiency between a male Custodian.
Exactly what I said. There's no difference in combat efficiency between a male and female custodian. Great. Then why are there female custodians? Why? Then why were they even added? It just, bro, it still doesn't. It just doesn't make fucking sense. Oh my God! You're just lessening the number of nobles in a family. You're lessening bloodlines. The noble family are getting smaller and smaller from each time because they can't reproduce. Custodians don't reproduce, and it's just
and a female custodian.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
That's right,
Anyone
guys. There's no difference, okay? Women and men are exactly the same now. It's just as your gender studies teacher told you against your will. And if you think otherwise, well, I guess you're a bigot. Incredible.
Amen.
The stretching.
Hey, I'm the proudest bigot in the world because, sorry, men and women aren't the same. That's just not the case, man.
Of the lore here to make way for something literally nobody wants. It's kind of impressive, I gotta say. Let's go look at Games Workshop stocks following this announcement as seen here. And yeah, it went down. I mean, it can recover, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it can go down, but it went down.
Want to happen when you unveil your Gorlock Femme Custodes faction for sure. Here's another image of their stock, down a bit, but you know, still down. I just find it funny. You
let it go down more and more.
Please your fan base and give everybody what they want. But
Look
you
at
just
that
keep
Amazon
doing
bullshit.
stupid stuff like this for no reason other than because some like HR person at
Let it go down.
GW is forcing you guys to do things you know are stupid on purpose. Like, look at this dude. They got female Custodes who are old women as things you can buy now. Like, who is this for? The fact that Shield Captain apparently is an old woman, that would insinuate that they've been around for a really, really long time too, obviously, which that just opens up another can of worms. It's like watching a company, okay, that has everything, okay, that they need to become the next, I don't know, Disney or Star Wars level property even. And instead, they're just making all the stupid decisions instead.
Bro, that is so true. Because Star Wars, Star Trek, and all the other lovely old shows that we all grew up on are just being slaughtered by these companies right now for this woke DI bullcrap. Like, Warhammer was rising up and it could have low-key taken the place of these series. But the problem is we have this woke DI bullshit that's been added to it, and it's just ruining it. You're just ruining the lore. You're just pushing fans away, like the real fans who Warhammer 401k for a reason. There's a reason why it's the meme. You're gonna push away all the whales who are willing to make you guys billionaires. Then what are you? Isn't Warhammer like paying for like the UK? Like, isn't GW like technically like running the economy of the UK? So it's like you guys are just gonna kill you're literally gonna kill an economy by just ruining Warhammer. Like, it's crazy what's gonna happen.
Better than this game's
absolutely
workshop. You know that. You have to know that. Interestingly, too, during the presentation, GW also kept using they pronouns instead of she or he when talking about characters. Apparently, with the Void Master as seen here, they kept referring to the model as they on purpose, and I see what you're doing. Very sneaky, GW, but I see it. But unsurprisingly, when you look at the chat during this reveal, as also seen here, there's a common thing going on, which is
oh my god,
that flag shows up, so too does the lore retcons, and that's all I'm gonna say there. But incredible that we're almost 2 years removed from the initial reveal of female Custodes being canon, as seen here in this now infamous Twitter post, and they still haven't learned their lesson. There's always been female Custodes. Yeah, there's also been idiots existing for eons now too. Doesn't make it any better knowing that. The point is that this was a retcon that breaks decades of cherished lore continuity, okay?
Just say it for what it is.
Some fans have even launched petitions urging GW to reverse the decision and defending lore integrity, which obviously didn't work because they were gonna force this in no matter what we did. Obviously, on places like Reddit and other platforms, a large number of fans were either unfazed or even supportive of this choice. Which, I mean, when it comes to Reddit, what do you expect when it comes to things like this? They live for this sort of thing. Hilariously, though, most posts on Reddit that coincide with the opposition of female Adeptus Custodes are actually usually a part of a subreddit that was called the Horus Galaxy, which, in case you don't know, was famously hijacked and then deleted into oblivion by Reddit mods that used their power to remove the original creators of that subreddit because the fans in there were not pandering enough to the new almighty meta that the New Age Warhammer fans wanted. As in,
so they just nuked a whole Reddit server because people wasn't listening to them. That's crazy. Bro, this is why I don't go on Reddit, because I can't be bothered with idiots like that. I just cannot be bothered.
Female representation and all that other nonsense. I'm not even kidding either. Like, look at this. Horus Galaxy is banned outright. You can't even look up the post about it on Reddit proper. Like, wow, imagine that. The only way you can force your ideas like the female Custodes is by quite literally
enforcing your power and censoring people.
And even then, people will still not accept it besides a vocal minority. Truly, the absolute state of stupidity is on display, but it makes sense, right? I mean, after all, this is a brand with like 40 plus years of layered storytelling and novels and tabletop history. Fans have built like entire identities and emotional attachments around this setting for a reason, because they resonated with what Warhammer was all about. When you enact these changes, especially like the abrupt ones, it feels personal because it is. It's no less than
you're attacking the intelligence of the people who've been with the series and who've been following everything for probably all of their lives since how old Warhammer is. I just got into Warhammer probably like for 3 years now, so I'm still relatively new. But there are some people who've been quite literally following it all their life. You're spitting in their face. People who have put so much money into the hobby, and you're just absolutely just spitting in their face. Like, this is asinine.
A betrayal is what it ends up being like. It also likely pushes people who were looking to join to now not really want to, because why would you want to join a community where nothing apparently matters and the people within it have like the loudest voices that are just going to censor you no matter what you do anyways?
Bro, that's exactly how I felt, because I thought about starting to get Warhammer miniatures and started painting and all that if I started to get some money. Again, I'm broke. Yeah, if I were to get some money, I was thinking about starting doing that, but now it's like, no, why would I? Because maybe one day the Space Marine Legion that I choose is going to be like, oh, well, that old Space Marine Legion that you had all male, sorry, that one captain is now a female. The one apothecary is a transvestite. The gunner psyker over there, the librarian, he's sexually it sexually identifies as a cat girl thing. Bro, it's just not worth the risk to take the chance. You're just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna be wasting my money, and it's like, why would I put my money into something that's gonna be down the drain? Not worse.
Like, returning fans grew up with Custodes depicted as male, from the early Rogue Trader editions to the modern codexes. It's just stupid to do this now, and it's pathetic having GW double down the way that they have with this too. And of course, it also just fuels the further culture war, because places like Reddit and X or Twitter are eternal battlegrounds for this sort of stuff. You can almost see the users like their own Space Marine factions pretty much. They're just fighting 24/7 over everything.
In Reddit and Twitter, there is only war
online. But here's the thing, okay? It's important to push back against these sort of things, no matter what you're really into. Not even Warhammer, just whatever franchise. Because what's happening with Warhammer here is exactly how these sorts of franchises end up dying and becoming something that they were never envisioned as in the first place. I guess
exactly. It's why Star Wars is dead, Star Trek is dead. Any other series, I kind of only watch those. You know, that's why they're all dead.
You could use the word tourist here,
but like Marvel and all that kind of stuff.
It's more like a hostile takeover than anything else. Like, it doesn't work. And it's really never a good idea to reject the people who brought you to where you are in order to chase the modern audience, so to speak. I hate that word, but it is what it is. Some critics are probably going to frame the debate in the broader woke versus traditional culture war terms, I guess, like PC Gamer did back in 2024 as seen here, which was titled, Warhammer 40,000 has slightly more women in it now, and the neckbeards aren't happy.
Bro, I'm surprised that people even read these. How do these like news journalist like places still even exist? Like, I be seeing them pop up when I be going on the Internet Explorer, and I hop on the internet browser and all that lovely shit, and I just clicking it, but I don't be clicking on the profiles. I just immediately go to YouTube, X, Discord, Twitch. I go to other things, Instagram, but I don't ever click on those articles and read them, because I just feel like they're just bullcrap.
Yes,
I'm surprised they still even make.
You mean the people who kept Games Workshop alive through their money and their time?
Facts. Yeah, this guy right here is currently leading England's economy, and Games Workshop wants to tell him he's a neckbeard and lame, and they want to ruin his hobby. It is like, okay, go right ahead. Tell this guy that when he stopped giving you money and your company starts just burning because you pushed away all your customers, hey, you ruined it yourself.
Time and their energy, those neckbeards. But I guess it just depends on what kind of neckbeard you are. If you flash a certain flag with blue and pink with a bit of white in it, then I guess it's totally fine to do so. But if you're a stinky cis male, as they say, then I guess you're the enemy now. It's tiring, man. And look, it doesn't mean everyone is thinking this way, but for segments of the fan community, this does become a convenient symbol of identity politics in fiction, because that is what it is. Yeah, it's true that Warhammer 40k has always evolved more than once, retconning older stories to fit new editions and narratives like that. I can't be denied, but this kind of...
I thought he was going to say, a good retcon, I think I'm talking in my head. That Eldar, that half human, half Eldar that was apparently working, for the Ultramarines. I like how that lore was changed, because it was kind of stupid. So they changed it by making that Eldar being an experiment from Malkador, but then they also, they took the name of that Eldar. I think Natarze, right? I think that was him. He's that Eldar, Psyker. I can't think of what they called him. I just can't think of it right now. He's that Eldar Psyker who works for well, not works for Gilliman, but helped Gilliman out. And then there was like another Eldar who was with the Imperium, but he was like reincarnated multiple times by Malkador because Malkador was telling him his secrets, and the dude would go insane and it would die, and Malkador would just resurrect him. Pretty dark story, but like some of those stories I understand. Those were good retcons. Other than that, like, you have to be very specific in how you do it. The female custodian, that's not a good one. Just blatantly telling everyone, sorry, there's always been female custodian. No. I'm not retarded. I might have a little Down syndrome, but I'm not retarded.
This shift isn't really unprecedented, but what makes this specific instance so, I guess culturally charged is instead how sudden and public the declaration was by Games Workshop. Like, that's the issue at its core here. Games Workshop could have introduced a female custodian in a novel or story arc first, easing fans into the concept.
Bro, here's how I would have did it, right? Adding female custodian, I would have been like, I bet the custodians during some great war are running low on warriors. They need more warriors because they lost a lot defending from, I don't know, maybe the gate got breached from under the Imperial Palace where the Emperor is sitting to block it, right? Maybe something happened, demons somehow got through, a big glorious fight happened, a lot of custodians died, and they said, okay, we need some like emergency conscriptions, and there you get some females, boom, and that's how you introduce. These will be the first, and you could say these are the first set of female custodians that have been introduced into Warhammer. Instead of just lying to everyone's face and saying, hey, they've always existed. No, that's not the case. That is just not the case. And to me, that's the real biggest problem, the fact that you're just lying to everyone's face. Just telling them, nah, that's not the case.
Maybe by implying that the first female custodian was a test by the Imperium, or even a mistake, and then they made that custody very young as well to frame a story where this now lone female custody learns the ways from the much more seasoned male counterparts. You could have eased your readers into the idea because the concept of the story would have been that even the female custody feels out of place, and it would have created an actual underdog-like story to the whole thing, which you could then justify, and then by the end of it, the female custody could be accepted, and then you could build off of that idea going forward. But instead, it was just abruptly announced and then defended as if it had always been the case. Like, that method, while technically defensible, it's gonna feel sloppy to many long
it's very
fans
sloppy
because it doesn't come off as legit. It feels like from the get-go as if the entire concept was combative or aggressive even. I don't even think I said that word right. Whatever, moving on. Like, yeah, they existed. What are you gonna do about it? Like, no, bad idea. You should ease people into things like this. When you go from 0 to 100, it just makes things worse. Like, I get it, okay? You want to change in your franchise. I totally understand that. But why do it in such a way where it alienates? It makes people mad. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's not good for business. Plenty of franchises have introduced new heroes and concepts, and people took to it because it wasn't done in a mean-spirited way. Like Nero joining Devil May Cry alongside Dante. That was dope.
Oh, I like what he just said. Yeah, that was so dope because Dante and Virgil were the obviously staples, and then now we get Nero, Virgil's kid. I liked Nero. Nero is a cool concept. He's a cool add-on. I understand that. I think if they do another Devil May Cry, they're going. I think the creator of the last game or the series, they said they're going to restart the whole series in general. But if they don't do a restart, I think it'd be cool to having some missions of Nero, just him protecting the Earth or doing something to save everyone while Dante and Virgil are in hell, defending the gates, making sure no other powerful demon gets by or something like that. That'd be cool. Granted, Virgil does have the Yamato. The Yamato can open up portals through dimensions. He should be able to leave anytime he wants, but semantics.
Done well, people liked it. Now Nero is a staple of that series. They even did it more recently with Yakumo and Ninja Gaiden 4 as well, which was basically the same idea. I've never played a Ninja Gaiden game. Look, people aren't against new ideas. They just want their fandom, I guess is a good term, to be respected. Okay, it's all about respect. All of this is about respect, but it doesn't feel respectful at all. This just feels mean-spirited, and condescending too. Obviously, some fans genuinely want Warhammer to respect its history and continuity and not rewrite it for novelty reasons. Others, maybe they welcome the lore expansion as part of like a living universe. I get it that things need to keep going to keep it alive. Unfortunately,
Bro, there is so much shit happening in Warhammer that is keeping it alive right now. From what I've learned, Warhammer was like frozen for like the last 36 years. And then in the last couple of years, it's actually been moving along. So from what I can tell, Warhammer's been on the move. It's been chugging. Again, this is from the perspective of someone who's recently just got into Warhammer. It's just been lore drop after lore drop after lore drop after lore drop, while people who have been probably watching this, following the series since they were born, you know, for them it's like, oh my god, the series was not moving at all, and now it's finally moving a step. You know, for them this is a single step. So it's like, hey, it's really a matter, I guess, perspective on that. But I don't know. Warhammer has been moving from my perspective.
Part of this conversation has devolved into insults,
doxing,
doxing, and harassment. And that's not unique to just one side of the argument, it's everything. The way this was handled, not just now, but in the past 2 years alone, has done frankly nothing but divide the fan base even more, which, let's be real, that's something that no community benefits from.
None at all.
The culture war thing will lead to stuff like the, Twitter threads exploding and extreme voices getting amplified on both sides. And it will also lead to nuance often getting lost in favor of like the hot takes and the sound bites being all anyone really cares about. It's the internet, I get it, that's always going to happen, but that part of why this feels like a culture war moment, even though it is about a tabletop game in the end, as much as the fans are responsible for their actions, which they are, companies like Games Workshop are also equally just as responsible to ensure that they don't screw over their fans, regardless of whichever side they take. I think what people often forget is that this isn't really a battle of you versus a company. It's just an argument over common respect in the end. You can change things, but it needs to be done in a more respectful way. You need to.
But at the end, they don't do it in a more respectful way. I mean, the fans will pay, or the fans will vote with their wallets. That's what will happen. You will see the fans voting with their wallets. And then if one day we see female custodians gets written out of lore, you know what that says? It says the fans voted with their wallet. And if one day, if we never see it, that means the fans didn't vote with their wallet, or Games Workshop was just like, no, we don't care what you guys say. We'll go bankrupt before we get rid of them. Then they're just hard-headed and go bankrupt, I guess. But most of the time, vote with your wallet.
Understand that forcing things will never work. It's like they say, right? If you gotta force out a fart, it's probably crap. It's basically that pretty much all the time. Like, what can we reasonably take away from all of this? I hear you say, well, the truth is that Warhammer 40k, it's not dying, okay? The contrary, actually, it's very healthy. And this was never about destroying games.
This won't kill Warhammer. All this will do is piss off a lot of people. And again, at best, what it will do is prevent people, or at least those who care, they won't buy the miniatures. They will not buy the miniatures. That's probably what's going to be the case. I'm definitely not going to buy those miniatures. Fuck them. I hope no one ever buys them. But other than that, the books will still be sold. The games will definitely still be sold, because Space Marine 2, phenomenal. Love that game. Again, I like Dark Tide. Again, I wish Dark Tide had a little bit more, but again, I like Dark Tide. But yeah, Warhammer is definitely far from dying.
Workshop or anything like that. It's like I always say in other videos, you can support companies that do dumb things by supporting the parts of the company that do the right thing, if that makes sense. If they want to release female custodian minis or whatever, just don't buy them. That's the simplest, easiest way that you can tell Games Workshop without being toxic that, hey, we don't want this thing at all, and it'll probably work. You don't need to harass the developers or threaten to dox people. You just frankly need to do not much of anything at all, actually. What you should always remember, however, is that social media will always intensify reactions to pretty much anything. And you need to remember that stuff like X, Twitter, Reddit, whatever, they are not real life. They are echo chambers, no matter.
Oh my God, you gotta hear that. Oh, hear that again. Hear that again. Hear it one time for the people in the back. One time for the people in the back.
You should always remember, however, is that social media will always intensify reactions to pretty much anything. And you need to remember that stuff like X, Twitter, Reddit, whatever, they are not real life. They are echo chambers, no matter who or what is talking about anything. I mostly use X to post stupid things because I like making bad jokes. Some people...
Bro, like, exactly. That's what I feel like social media should be used for. You know, you want to post some funny pictures, haha. You know, you want to post a little selfie, that's cool. But like all this political jargon and all that, bro, just seeing people get their brains blown out, seeing people post their booty holes without even asking. It's too much. It's just too much.
People take them seriously, others realize I'm joking. Some YouTubers even left into my DMs threatening me because I made a funny about them. You know who you are, by the way, too, and I still find that funny to this day, by the way. But what I think people tend to not realize is they are losing the forest from the trees, or did I say that wrong? The trees from the forest? I actually forgot how to say that analogy. You tend to forget
losing the trees from the forest?
The rock slide. That doesn't make sense either.
Losing
the point I'm trying to make is not to give it to rage bait, pretty much. Yeah, I know, hearing that from me, listen, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here, I admit, and at least attempt to not be so reactionary myself and whatnot, but that's what being human is, right?
I was gonna say, man, everyone has to work on that. I have my problems, especially when I gotta work, dealing with dumbasses at my job. Just absolutely, everyone has things they have to do to work on, man. That's a fact.
We're all at flaws. I've gotten plenty wrong in the past, I admit that, but all I can really do is learn from my mistakes and then move on from them. So while yes, this change is stupid as hell, just don't buy into it is what I'm saying. At the same time, maybe don't go on social media and attack people that defend this sort of thing either. Again, I'm trying to learn from my own mistakes here and realize the whole eye for an eye thing doesn't really work as well as you would think, but what does matter is respectful discussion. Whether you love the change or hate it, remember, you don't need to buy into it at all, just ignore it and embrace the parts of the things you like and support those instead, and hopefully eventually these companies will get the message. Now
that's exactly again, anything that female custodians, I'm not supporting it. I don't care. I will make sure to deliberately avoid anything that has to do with female custodians. They don't exist in my eyes, and I'm just gonna keep it like that.
If GW were to turn around and attack its fans, that's a different story. But as of right now, as this video being made anyways, it's important to remember to not give in to hate. Even if some people will want you to do that because it will benefit them, but always remember that the Imperium will still fight on forever with or without female custodians. Personally, to me, they don't exist because I won't buy them. What's a female custodian?
Bro, I love this guy, bro. Bro, I love this guy, bro. Me and him, we're on the same wavelength, bro. We're doing this right now. He's on the wavelength, bro.
What do I hear you say? I don't know, because they never happened, if you ask me, and I'm gonna keep it that way if you don't mind. Now, what I'm open to is an entire faction of super genetically altered midgets that are like dwarves that protect the Emperor. Though that would be cool as hell. And I know it's Warhammer, so everything is like bigger than usual. But
wait, don't they have the Votan, right? I don't know much about the Votan. I just know that they are technically. They're an offshoot of humanity, like I think before the great collapse, right? So it's like I want to say, aren't they like midgets? I think, or no, maybe I just ended somebody. I don't know. I'm using the word midget. If you got a problem with it, sue me. But I believe that they're just like midgets that are like they're like dwarves, honestly, like the generic dwarven warriors. Like they got the build like bears, I think. I need to do my research, but other than that, I like those guys. I want to hear more about them.
I want these midgets like at 3 feet max in height.
Oh,
and also, in order
to
power like a big robot, they need multiple little guys to power all the different body parts, like a Megazord or something. I'm gonna stop talking before I get myself canceled. But anyway, what do you think?
Multiple little guys to build them like a... Well, what show is that? Family Guy. Family Guy did it. That's what it was. I remember it. No, it wasn't midgets. It was cripples. It was people in wheelchairs. They built the mecha wheel. That was so good. Oh, so good.
Think about all of this. Let me know in the comments. Like always, thank you for watching. Remember to think critically about things and don't give in to hate. And please subscribe for more level-headed content in the future. I promise to be more objective. I'm trying to, like I said, turn over a new leaf this year. But seriously, midget space marines that can be shot out of cannons into enemy territory.
Bro, wait. Midget space marines that can be shot out of cannons. So let's see. Orcs shoot grotlings out of cannons. So it'll be just like the grotling shot, but with like little. Oh, I see it now. That's amazing. I love his image. I love it.
That would be sick.
That would be sick.
Goodbye.
that would be so. Oh my god, that was absolutely amazing. But I again, as you heard throughout this whole video, these female custodians don't exist in my eyes. You know, I'm not for that. After this video, If you ask me, hey, do female custodians exist? I'm gonna look you dead in your soul and say, no, they don't. And if you pull out a figurine and says, but what this figurine? I'm just gonna be like, nope, it's a male. If you put out a name, but it says her, and I'm like, nope. But here's some tits. I'm like, nope, just a really big chest. That's all. I'm gonna deny you every time because this is how I feel about it. They don't exist to me. But let me know in the comments section what you feel about it. Yeah, I might stream. I don't know. I'm kind of gay, kind of Monday. I don't know. I'm feeling it. We'll see. Deuces.